Derivative of a function. Example 3. Find f prime of x if f of x equal radical x. What's meant by f prime of x? F prime of x means slope of the curve of the function at any point, or instantaneous velocity if the function is the position function, or rate of change. So, if I want to find f prime of x, do you remember the formula that we use each time? F prime of x equal limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. But our function here, f of x equal radical x. So what is the value of f of x plus h? It is radical x plus h. Let's substitute in our problem. So f prime of x equal limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h minus f of x, which means radical x plus h minus radical x over h as h approaches 0. Of course, direct substitution will give us 0 over 0. So in this case, we need to do something to find the limit. I prefer to multiply by the conjugate this time. What is the conjugate of the numerator? It is radical x plus h plus radical x over radical x plus h plus radical x. What's the result of this product? I will have radical x plus h times radical x plus h, which is x plus h, minus radical x times radical x means minus x. No middle term. Don't forget that we multiply brackets. So we have two middle terms, they will be cancelled. This is the product and sum, which gives us difference of two squares. And down we have h into bracket radical x plus h plus radical x. So, if I want to find this limit, first of all, I can if I want to find this limit, I think that we have nothing left up but for h, because we have x plus h minus x. These x's will be cancelled, and we have only h up over h down into this bracket, radical x plus h plus radical x. The h also will be cancelled up and down. So we have left limit as h approaches 0, 1 over radical x plus h plus radical x. Let's substitute h equals 0 in this expression. So this limit becomes 1 over radical x plus radical x, which is 1 over 2 radical x. This is our solution. This is the derivative of f of x. Let's revise what we did again. I had f of x equal radical x. So f of x plus h is radical x plus h. Let's substitute in our formula. Limit as h approaches 0. F of x plus h plus minus f of x is this expression. But I can't find this limit. It will give us 0 over 0. So I should multiply by conjugate of the numerator up and down. When I multiply, I get the so-called difference of two squares. Radical times radical is that thing, x plus h. Similarly, radical x times radical x is x. And don't forget that minus times plus is minus. The middle term, which is product of means and extremes, when adding them we get 0. So we have in the denominator h bracket radical x plus h plus radical x. When I do this calculation up, I will simplify x with minus x. We remove them. so we have left only h, which be cancelled with the h in the denominator. So everything disappear but for this expression. Now plug in 0 instead of h here, we come to 1 over radical x plus radical x, which is 1 over 2 radical x. This is the solution of the problem. I think it's easy. You should try it. Don't forget to watch the videos, solve the examples once more in Yuka Box before you come to school. Thank you and goodbye.